Hello, everybody. Hello. Hi, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. And welcome to the Masterpiece Lounge. As always, let me know where you're tuning in from. Don't be shy. Say hello down in the chat. We are so excited to be back with another segment. I am Chrisnatha certified life coach, author, and speaker, and I'm back with another segment in the Masterpiece Lounge. So we are in the lounge today. We're feeling good. We're excited. And why is that? Number one, I'm blessed. I woke up this morning. But secondly, your girl got a good night's sleep. Okay. I went to bed early. I slept well. And I feel so full of life, so well rested today. And that's part of what we're going to be discussing today. We're going to be talking about the connection between sleep and mental health. The connection between sleep and mental health. So that's going to be our conversation today, what we'll be talking about today in the Masterpiece Lounge. I think this is so important to talk about. Living in a culture where it's teen no sleep, grind till you can't grind anymore, right? It's important that we start to preach the message that rest is essential. Rest is essential. And so, yes, we should work hard. Yes, we should apply ourselves. Yes, we should do all that we can do, but we should also get some sleep. All right. So if you're not sleeping enough or well, that does affect you. That does affect you. So we're going to jump into today's topic. Once again, welcome everybody who's joining us. We're excited to have you and let us know down in the chat where you're tuning in from. All right. So, all right, guys, let's talk about it. The connection between sleep and mental health. This can be apply to anyone, whether it's your young kids who don't want to put those devices down and go to bed, or just us adults who really are just overworked and haven't been sleeping enough, right? So there is a connection, a close relationship between sleep and mental health. It's extremely close. Living with a mental health problem can affect how well you sleep. So I want make sure you hear me, all right? Living with a mental health problem can affect how well you sleep. So if you already are dealing with some mental health challenges, it can affect your sleep. And poor sleep can have a negative impact on your mental health. Doesn't mean it causes mental health diseases or anything like that. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that poor sleep has a negative impact on your mental health. So poor sleep leads to worrying. Worrying leads to poor sleep. All right, so there is a connection. And simply put, our brain needs sleep. It needs sleep. Have you ever noticed that even though you are up extremely past the time that you know you should be awake, though you're trying to get things accomplished, there comes a point in time where you're not effective. You're not being productive at all. You're just awake. And at that point, go to sleep, try it again tomorrow. Let's redo this thing another time. I'm not being productive. I'm just awake trying to do something that's taking me hours that could have taken me maybe 1 hour or half an hour if I was well rested, right? And so we want to make sure that we're sleeping. Why? Because our body needs it, our brain needs it. Just to throw in a stat for all my people who love a good stat, 25% of Americans suffer from insomnia each and every year. All right. So, insomnia is actually one of the most common sleep problems worldwide. A lot of people suffer from it or having challenges sleeping and dealing with insomnia. So, it doesn't only impact your sleep, it also affects your mental health by increasing the risk of anxiety, risk of depression, and risk of mental distress. So if you're not sleeping enough, you can find that the next day or over time, you start to be more anxious, you start to feel more down, depressed, and it just really affects you in a negative way. So when it comes to sleep versus mental health, right? Whether this is a question, does the lack of sleep cause mental health issues? When it comes to that, it's not clear. It's not clear. It's not like a clear cut as one disorder causing the other. We're not saying lack of sleep causes mental health, but it does affect it. Okay. It does affect it. The presence of one often does indicate the existence of the other. So I want to make sure that I'm clear about that. So we want to encourage you here in the Masterpiece Lounge to get some rest. It's so important. It's so important. And for some of you that are wondering, what is insomnia anyway? Well, insomnia is basically a sleep disorder that makes it difficult to fall asleep and get adequate restorative sleep through the night. Okay, so some common symptoms of insomnia, just if you're wondering what that could look like, is difficulty falling asleep or difficulty staying asleep, waking up at least once during the night, waking up too early in the morning, excessive daytime sleepiness, like you can't even function because you're just so sleepy, or not feeling rested even after a full night's sleep is as well. All right, there's moodiness. You can feel really irritable and even brain fog, and that may also affect you just being able to focus. So you can definitely talk to a doctor for just any personal issues you're having with insomnia or that you think you're having with insomnia. I am not a licensed physician, so I can't give out any advice in terms of, well, not advice, diagnosis, but I can give you some advice on maybe some things that'll help you get a better night's rest. So there is a relationship between insomnia and mental health. And like we stated before, some of the mental health disorders that have been connected with not getting enough sleep or having trouble with your sleeping is depression is one, post-traumatic stress disorder, PTSD, um, bipolar disorder is another, ADHD, attention deficit hyperactivity disorder, also panic disorders, as well as OCD, obsessive compulsive disorder. So these are just a few mental health disorders that have been linked to insomnia. So if you're having trouble sleeping, I really want you to take it seriously. Don't ignore it because it's affecting your mental health, and you should talk to your physician about it. A good night's sleep. Let's talk about some benefits of a good night's sleep. A good night's sleep really benefits you and your brain. It benefits you and your brain. And I want to share just a few tips on how, right? Just a few things, just to kind of bring it to your attention if you haven't noticed or thought about it in that way. So, a good night's sleep has a lot of benefits. I actually love sleep; it's my favorite pastime. I don't get enough of it, but I'm working on that. I love sleep. I love rest. I am not part of the Team No Sleep crew. Absolutely not. Number one, sleep helps boost your mental health. As we said earlier, treating a sleep disorder um, may alleviate or reduce any type of mental health disorders that you're dealing with. So, sleep helps boost your mental health. Number two, sleep helps with your memory and with learning. So, for all of my parents who are watching, who have the kiddos who just do not want to go to sleep or act like they're asleep, right? When you send them to bed, but they're really maybe on their devices all night, that may have the connection of them maybe having a hard time in school, being able to just remember for their tests and everything else, or just learning in general. They may not be resting enough. And so you want to just make sure that they're actually going to sleep when you send them to bed and that they're not on those devices. Or you may have to start taking those devices away at bedtime. Number three is sleep helps remove toxins from your brain. So your body, our system, right? Our body system is very important to our brain health, and it helps deliver nutrients to our brain. So, sleep helps remove those toxins from our brain. Number four, sleep helps us make better decisions. And number five, sleep helps us regulate and process our emotions. So, those are a few benefits of why sleep is so key. So, I want to make sure you guys are really taking this seriously, that you are getting your rest. I also have a few tips on helping reduce nighttime anxiety. All right. So anxiety and insomnia can go hand in hand. All right. So don't worry. There's a few tips that I want to share with you to reduce nighttime anxiety. All right. Number one is practice good sleep hygiene. This means creating good sleep habits and following a consistent bedtime routine, even on the weekends, guys. I know, even on the weekends. Also, avoid caffeine at least 6 hours before your regular bedtime. I know some of us do not follow this, but you might want to give it a try. It includes caffeinated beverages like soda, coffee, and even tea, y'all. I know some of us have bedtime tea, but keep that in mind as well. Um, Also, creating a relaxing bedroom environment. Um, if you're bothered by a bright street light outside of your window or the sound of frogs that are croaking in a nearby pond, you don't have to put up with them for a good night's sleep. So, block out intrusive light. So, there's something that I do. I'm not telling you that you have to do it, but it's something to consider, right? I grew up in a house where I was allowed to have a television in my bedroom. The moment I got my own room, probably at like 3 or 4 years old, up into my 20s, I had a television in my bedroom. This was so that my brother and I did not fight over what to watch. However, I must say, I developed an unhealthy sleeping pattern because I had the television. So, though I was sent to bed at a certain time, I wasn't going to bed at that time. I was watching TV until I don't know what time, falling asleep with the television on, not sleeping enough, showing up to school extremely fatigued. And so I just want to put that in your ear as my parents, right? Or even as my adults. And so as an adult, now that I have my own space, my own home, I've decided that I do not want a television in my bedroom. Why? Because my bedroom is where I rest. And if there's a television in here, I most likely will stay up late. And so I have the living room where I watch all my TV. And then when I am done for the day, I come into my bedroom where all I'm in here to do is sleep, right? And so there's no television here, nothing to keep me um, preoccupied or busy, and even making myself put my device, my cell phone away so that I can get sleep. So that's something to think about in terms of lighting in the room, being distracted. That's a tip. You don't have to do it, but it's something to consider. All right. The next tip is keeping your bedroom at a comfortable temperature. So I know that if you are booed up, if you are married, you're sharing your bedroom with your partner, your spouse, you guys might be fighting over temperature. I get it, right? So this is something hopefully you guys can come together and agree on. But keeping your bedroom at a comfortable temperature. Remember, the ideal temperature for sleep is between 60 and 67. I didn't make up the rules, guys. Okay, do not at me. All right. So between 60 and 67 degrees Fahrenheit. This can vary from person to person. So you and your partner come to an agreement, okay? Some like it warm, some like it really cold. Hopefully, y'all can come together, so you can experiment to see what works best for you. Um, let's see what else. Yeah, and then avoid screens before bed. This is hard once again because even if we leave the television, we have our cell phones, our iPads, and so much other devices, our laptops, our computers, you name it. But try to give yourself some time between leaving all of your devices and going to bed. Some people don't even bring their devices into their bedroom. Once again, you make the decision on what you want to do, but that is just something that some people do just so that they can avoid this and not get too tired and will be able to sleep. All right, so I hope that these tips really help you start to think about maybe some changes you can make in your own life, and also taking your sleep seriously. Okay, I want to make sure that all of you guys are resting as we get into the holiday season. I know many of you are busy. We're wrapping up the year. We want to finish strong, and whatever that looks like for each and every one of us, but make sure that rest is a part of your plans. Rest is a weapon. We've said this before and I mean it. Okay, guys, so make sure you're resting. Rest, okay? Get some sleep. And if you're having any trouble or you feel like you're dealing with some type of insomnia, then I want to make sure that I encourage you to see your doctor concerning that, and so that they can take a closer look. As we set all these goals and all of these things we want to accomplish, we can't neglect the fact that rest is a key ingredient in making that happen. Okay, more than your goals, you're important. You're a priority. So take good care of yourself. All right, guys, that's all I have for you today. I am so excited, and I hope that you are too, about what we've learned about sleep and its connection with our mental health. I am Chrisnatha DeRozier, certified life coach, author, and speaker, signing off until next time. And until then, be well. Thank you, guys. Have a blessed day.